Welcome to the channel. Subscribe and support us as we bring you epic sci-fi and HFY stories every week. The Galactic Academy's interspecies cafeteria was always loud, but today it buzzed with laughter. One lone human cadet, sitting at the end of a table, nibbling on carrots and almonds. Towering Grox warriors sneered from their perch near the quantum food dispensers, their chitinous plates clicking with amusement. Plant eaters one rumbled, mandibles dripping with synthetic protein paste. No wonder they're so fragile. The human cadet, lean and unassuming with dirt-brown hair, didn't respond. He just placed his metal lunchbox gently on the table with deliberate precision. Above them, a holographic banner scrolled in 17 languages. Today's lunch theme: Apex diets across the galaxy. Zarkith, a mantis-like warrior from the blood-feasting Slythori race, rose to his full 8-foot height. His razor-sharp limbs gleamed under the artificial suns as he gestured mockingly toward the human. "Look at this pathetic creature," he clicked, his voice carrying across the vast hall. "My hatchlings eat stronger things than your entire species." The crowd of assembled aliens, scaled, furred, crystalline, and gaseous, roared with cruel laughter. Species that had warred for millennia found common ground in mocking humanity's supposed weakness. The human slowly opened the metal lunchbox with the same methodical care a surgeon might use. No theatrics, no grand gestures, just precision. The metallic click echoed strangely in the sudden quiet. He reached inside and pulled out a slab of deep crimson tissue, veined with purple and glistening wetly. Raw liver. The room fell into absolute silence. The metallic, iron-rich smell hit the sensitive alien olfactory systems first. A Kathiri student, her rainbow plumage bristling with shock, recoiled so violently she knocked over her chair. You eat uncooked organ meat." Her translator struggled with the concept, adding strange harmonics to her voice. The human looked up calmly, a slight smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "Liver," he said simply, taking a deliberate bite. Blood ran down his chin. "Iron-rich, from a beast we killed ourselves." The taste was sharp, metallic, primal. His pupils dilated slightly in unconscious predatory response that several aliens noticed with growing unease. Suddenly, the cafeteria's holographic displays shifted, showing archived footage from Earth. A rugged mountain landscape materialized, snow-capped peaks surrounding a valley where a small tribe of humans had cornered something massive. The beast was 5 times their size, tusked and furious, but they moved with pack intelligence. Spears plunged in coordinated strikes. Blood sprayed across ancient rock. No advanced technology, no energy weapons, just teamwork, persistence, and raw biological grit. The footage was visceral, real, undeniably effective. Back in the cafeteria, a massive Grox warrior tried to salvage his species' reputation. "We consume the neural tissue of our fallen prey," he boasted, his voice trembling slightly. "Far more advanced than your primitive methods." The human shrugged, completely unbothered, and took another bite of the liver. "We do that too," he said conversationally. "Brains actually pretty good. We usually cook them in wine with garlic and herbs, but raw works in a pinch." He paused, seeming to consider. Though honestly, the texture's better seared. The casual way he discussed consuming neural tissue made several species exchange nervous glances. Zarkith leaned forward, his compound eyes reflecting the cafeteria's lights like multifaceted jewels. "Is it true?" he whispered, though his voice carried in the hushed space. "Your kind truly consumes the hearts of your prey." The human nodded matter-of-factly. "Sometimes raw, especially in traditional hunts. It's symbolic to taking the strength of what you've defeated." His expression grew distant, almost nostalgic. "My grandfather taught me that." Zarkith's mandibles clicked uncertainly. That's remarkably savage." The human's grin widened, showing teeth that suddenly looked far sharper than they had moments before. "Thanks." The cafeteria's central hologram projected complex dietary statistics, genetic analysis scrolling in real time. Humans were classified as omnivores, but the data revealed something more disturbing. They were adaptive apex hunters whose genetic code showed massive metabolic spikes during hunting scenarios. Their stress hormones actually improved performance rather than hindering it. An alien medic, her tentacled form quivering with academic excitement and horror, gasped audibly. "Wait. The data indicates they can metabolize decomposing organic matter without succumbing to toxicity." A nearby AI, its crystalline form pulsing with processing light, confirmed with clinical detachment. "Correct. Some human cultures deliberately consume fermented, partially decomposed flesh. They appear to derive both nutritional and psychological satisfaction from this practice. The hologram shifted to show footage that made several aliens physically retreat. A human survivalist on a frozen wasteland biting into what the translator helpfully identified as fermented shark, laughing as he chewed the blackened, reeking flesh. The sound of his enjoyment echoed through the hall. Multiple species began making distressed sounds in their native tongues. Professor Vlax, a distinguished Zaan biologist whose tentacles had written 17 seminal papers on interspecies dietary habits, stepped forward with academic fascination overriding his disgust. "So your species are apex predators by evolutionary design?" he asked, his voice betraying genuine scientific curiosity. The human finished the liver with deliberate slowness, wiping the blood from his chin with the back of his hand. "We're whatever we need to be," he replied calmly. "Predator, scavenger, gatherer, farmer, we adapt." His eyes swept the crowd with an intensity that made several aliens step backward. "That's what makes us dangerous." The words hung in the air like a challenge. Without warning, Zarketh's pride flared. He slammed his bladed appendage on the nearest table, sending alien meals flying. "Challenge declared," he screeched. "Each species will showcase their most extreme meal to prove dietary superiority." The cafeteria's advanced systems immediately responded, transforming the space into a biosafe arena with containment fields and emergency medical stations. The parade of alien cuisine was impressive and deeply unsettling. The groks presented larvae that had been fermenting for decades, their shells translucent with built-up gases. Crystalline shard speakers offered acid-cooked mollusks that dissolved metal on contact. The Clithery contributed venom sacs from their homeworld's deadliest predators, their rainbow feathers dulling with the effort of not being poisoned by proximity. Each dish was extreme, alien, and exactly what the assembled crowd expected from their respective species. When the human's turn came, he stepped forward carrying nothing but a simple stone, slab-engined, scarred, and somehow more ominous than any high-tech presentation platform. On it, he had arranged a small feast that made the alien offerings look tame. Marrow bones split to reveal the rich interior, additional raw liver still warm, a heart that continued to twitch slightly, and what appeared to be some kind of fermented root vegetable that smelled like concentrated earth and death. He took a bite of each item in sequence, his expression never changing, calm as gravity itself. No performance, no showmanship, just the quiet confidence of an apex predator comfortable with its place in the food chain. The silence stretched until it became uncomfortable, then transformed into something approaching reverence. Whispers began in a dozen languages, growing into a murmur, then building into thunderous applause that shook the station's bulkheads. Even the carnivorous Clisari, whose own reputation for savage feeding was legendary, bowed their scaled heads in acknowledgement. "We underestimated them," one admitted, the translator struggling to convey the complex emotions in their guttural language: respect, fear, and a new understanding of what humanity represented in the galactic hierarchy. The human simply nodded, began packing away his simple meal, and stood to leave. As he walked toward the exit, his footsteps seemed to echo louder than they should have, each one a reminder that Earth's children had not reached the stars by being weak. Zarketh approached cautiously, his earlier mockery replaced by something resembling curiosity and perhaps the beginning of respect. "Tomorrow's meal?" he asked hesitantly. The human paused, reached into his jacket, and tossed the Slithery warrior something small and dark: a salted heart, preserved in the ancient way. "Bring your appetite," he said with that same quiet smile, and walked away, leaving behind a cafeteria full of aliens who would never again mistake humanity's dietary flexibility for weakness. From that day forward, the phrase "eating like a human" became galactic slang for consuming something so extreme it bordered on impossible, and lunch invitations from human cadets were considered both an honor and a test of courage throughout the academy. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to this channel and support us so we can post new videos every day. Your support means the world.